Hello everyone, and welcome to my Young and Restless official. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Nick consented to go with Sharon to see Noah in London this week on The Young and the Restless. Chance connected the clinic where Ashley had received treatment in Paris to the acquisition of the remote control gadget discovered on the gas valve at Havenhurst. Nick became aware that Chance believed Alan was responsible for the kidnapping of Phyllis and Sharon. Nick and Sharon were persuaded to postpone their trip by Phyllis. Chance found a farmhouse outside of Genoa City that had a camera connection to the hostage room where Phyllis and Sharon had been held. When Alan abruptly returned from Paris, Tracy tried to hide her concern. When Tracy suggested delaying their wedding preparations, Alan knew something wasn't right. Tracy secretly warned Jack on her phone as Alan grew more and more furious. After listening in on Tracy and Alan's talk, Jack and Ashley hurried over to Tracy's suite. Ashley and Jack pretended to be in favor of the couple's wedding. Ashley used a piece of advice Alan had given her about postponing satisfaction to support Tracy's wish to wait. Ashley later admitted that she thought Martin was pretending to be Alan, which hurt Tracy. When Tracy challenged her fiancé, he maintained his love for her. Chance accompanied Alan to the police station, where he refuted the claims made by Phyllis and Sharon that he had abducted them. The women argued angrily and said that being imprisoned together made them even more hostile to one another. Martin lost his temper and admitted that he had been posing as his deceased brother when Phyllis made fun of Alan's botched effort. Martin claimed credit for assisting Ashley while making fun of Alan's degrees. Tracy was devastated and blamed herself for putting her friends and family in danger. Jack and Ashley consoled her. Tracy took off her ring of engagement. In return for Audra revealing Kyle's true identity to Claire, Victor promised her ideal job. When Nate saw Victor and Audra drinking together, he became suspicious. Working with Victor could destroy Audra's relationship with Nate, Sally warned. Audra made the decision to inform Nate that she was collaborating with Victor, omitting the information regarding Kyle. Audra agreed to Victor's offer as long as he gave her a firm contract and provided funding for her own business. Kyle proposed that he and Claire share a residence. Chance encouraged Summer to finally acknowledge that she wasn't over Kyle after observing her envious response to seeing Kyle and Claire together. Chance informed Summer that she would have to solve the problem alone. This week's breathtaking roller coaster ride performance by Beth Maitland on The Young and the Restless reminded us why we need more Tracy Abbott in our lives by taking viewers through a wide spectrum of emotions. Regarding The Young and the Restless, Beth Maitland Tracy Abbott has always been gracefully portrayed by Beth Maitland. The room comes alive when she enters a scene, even though we don't get to see her very much. She reminded us this week why she is one of the show's most adored actors. Maitland skillfully guided us through a plot that the majority of fans had figured out last year in a fast-paced, emotionally charged journey. However, the way this actress performs, it seemed as though the audience was unaware of what would happen next. As she navigated her character through a complex web of emotions, Maitland exemplified the phrase "a steel fist in velvet glove." Maitland showed us what only a great actress can: tears, anxiety, shame, and wrath. We forgot she was acting, and there was a feeling of comfort and familiarity. Our hearts ached for Tracy when she whimpered, "Help me," to her siblings as the realization of heartbreak sunk in. We applauded when she confronted the man who had harmed her and demanded the truth. We prayed we wouldn't have to go through the journey, but the range was smooth, and somehow Maitland pulled us from believing she was going to become a victim to becoming her own heroine right in front of our eyes. Tracy Abbott's engagement to Alan Laurent, a psychotherapist and close friend of her sister, was certain to fail. He was a caring, intelligent professional who was considerate, affectionate, and on par with Tracy's intelligence. He was all Tracy could have asked for. She deserved to be loved even though she didn't need a guy, and vice versa. Tracy didn't realize how much she wanted Alan. Until he wasn't. It wasn't until Alan protected Ashley from his insane twin brother Martin on that fateful day in Paris that Tracy truly got to know him. Martin died after the two men quarreled, struggled, and fell from a balcony. After that, Tracy became close friends with the man, who later became her lover. Eventually, they made the decision to live together. But as it happened, Martin was a seasoned master at playing his brother, and Alan was the one who passed on that day. When Tracy learned the truth, she was devastated and deceived. Even if Martin is imprisoned for the rest of his life, Tracy will never be able to reunite with her Alan. The Young and the Restless has maintained its popularity throughout the years by providing its viewers with a constant stream of well-known favorites. In addition, the show incorporates new characters while maintaining the necessary drama and plot twists. Amy is making headway in her battle against cancer, so the week got off to a positive start. It was a pleasant diversion from the intense drama surrounding her health as she, Nate, and Damien joked about their favorite basketball teams. Most people have experienced the loss of a loved one to cancer. I hope Amy recovers completely at YNR. Even though Amy needs to take a break, the production is smartly keeping her involved. She is committed to ensuring a positive relationship between her kid and his half-brother. Even though the individual in question wasn't on the canvas, the mystery surrounding Alan kept growing. Although we detest Tracy's exploitation, her danger served as a reminder that the Abbott clan is one of the most resilient and close-knit families on soap operas. Families should feel the same way about each other, and Jack and Kyle have Tracy's best interests in mind. Additionally, we witnessed Diane helping her sister-in-law when she became aware that she was under stress. The sequences between Tracy and Diane were interesting to watch, despite the fact that Tracy didn't open up to Diane. Diane's sincere compassion for Tracy was evident. Yes, there was that bothersome thing about Diane having feigned her death for 10 or so years. However, YNR deserves a lot of credit for taking a risk by bringing Diane back. Although it strained credibility, it doesn't matter if the reward is seeing this compelling character again. Diane has a long relationship with Victor Newman, the Abbotts, and other people. Diane's worries that Tracy needed someone to talk to about anything significant were validated when she told her that she wanted to speak to Jack alone. She's a clever cookie. Diane was a little let down to be seen to be correct. She sincerely hopes that she will be able to become Tracy's friend. Throughout the week, YNR maintained the suspense surrounding Alan's purported double identity. Tracy was becoming increasingly anxious, as we could see. Let's not forget how fantastic it is to watch Tracy in a leading role of her own. For many years, Tracy has been the talk-to of the family, offering support to her siblings, niece Abby, nephew Kyle, and numerous others. Tracy is now the main heroine in her own drama as this novel progresses. She should be there. The fact that Tracy isn't writing one of her novels is the only issue. This is her actual life. Ashley was in the preview for next week, so we're sure the Abbotts will support her, and help is on the way. Maybe Ashley will be able to give Tracy the assistance she needs but isn't yet ready to accept from Diane. We appreciate Diane's sincere efforts to become a real family member. Diane is wise enough to back off, though. She is aware that it will take time. We saw other family dynamics last week besides Jack helping his younger sister. Victoria gave Claire a sympathetic ear. Sally caught up with Chloe, her best friend. As fathers and sons ought to, Jack and Kyle are still getting along great. Last week, YNR also gave us some unexpected scene mates. Even though Sally and Adam are no longer together, we should still watch them reconnect. Chelsea and Billy are the same. These four are currently with the people that many fans believe they should be with forever. However, eternity is a long time. In the future, we may easily see more remixing and rematching occurring. The character of Victor Newman is one recurring theme that YNR viewers have grown to love the most. Is he unaware of a deal that's happening in Genoa City? Is there a relationship that has a chance that he disapproves of? As the mystery surrounding Aristotle Dumas persists, we witnessed Victor providing information to Lily Winters, the daughter of the late Neil Winters, whom Victor held in high regard. Even if Victor doesn't always express his opinions, people are aware of his feelings. When it comes to Kyle, the billionaire is on Team Summer rather than Team Claire. Knowing Victor, though, he will simply reconsider if and when Kyle and Summer get back together. Perhaps all he wants is to make his enemies feel better by pushing some Abbott buttons. When Victor first saw Kyle and Claire at Crimson Lights, he hardly gave him a glance. He loved getting under Kyle's skin even though he knew it was happening. It's almost YNR tradition for Victor to be against someone in the Abbott family. This dynamic has been given fresh life in the show by the Claire-Kyle-Summer triangle. equipped with Victor's information, Lily acted and shared what she learned with Damien, the half-brother of her cousin Nate. Damien's unwavering declaration that he hasn't been playing Nate, Lily, and Devin, however, shows that there's always more to the story in Genoa City. We adore Lily's astute business acumen. She instinctively chooses to trust Victor over the just-arriving Damien. She will, however, be able to maintain an open mind because to her same savvy. If Victor and Damien are both telling the truth, how will she change her mind? Y&R's look, superior production values have long been notable. It's great to see that the show still appears as polished and high-end as ever in this difficult economic time. In the same week, we witnessed the Posh Society, the small Neil Winters Jazz Lounge, and the large Genoa City Athletic Club. There is a lot of business activity in Genoa City. Additionally, it makes natural that there would be several watering holes. Not to be overlooked is Crimson Lights, a set that has been in existence for more than 3 decades. The Chancellor Residence is the one set that we would like to see more of. The production has strategically positioned fan favorite Esther Valentine at Crimson Lights since that isn't being used. Recognizable set. Recognizable face. Win-win. We also got a shout-out from Kevin and saw the underutilized Chloe. More frequent appearances by Chloe and Kevin would be fantastic. The interaction between Lauren and Nikki was an example of something fresh but familiar. We are aware that the two women had known one another for many years. However, their one-on-one work hasn't been very extensive. It is well known, however, that their husbands are crooks. Michael is aware of the locations of all the graves. However, Lauren is opposed to Michael being one of those corpses. There is undoubtedly a magnificent woman behind every great guy, as has been noted of Victor and Nikki as well as Michael and Lauren. However, the two women are not only excellent but also powerful. Lauren was aware that approaching Nikki directly was the only way to have a significant influence. Who else can reach Victor so easily? When we believe we know where a tale is headed, Y&R understands how to turn it upside down. We're virtually yelling that Tracy is in danger at our televisions. She then hears Alan refer to her as Wildflower, a term he used prior to, in theory, switching places with Martin. Even while we would want to think Tracy will have a happily ever after,